I suppose I'm a specialist in the guitar on sort of fingerstyle playing. I started as a classical guitarist, so I studied the classical guitar and became very interested, I suppose, in technique and tone production and different fingerstyle techniques. But I also now am interested in more contemporary styles like folk and pop styles. Well, Jerry Smith got in touch with me, Dr. Jerry Smith, and just asked me if I'd be available and interested in getting involved in a project. My job would be to help transcribe the recordings and the versions of the music that he'd written, so that it could be, I suppose, understood and reinterpreted and reperformed by other musicians. I suppose because of my past as a musician and my training in sort of classical music, I could listen to the recordings and then transcribe them, write them out in notation. And then the main process, once I'd got a bit of background about the individual pieces, was sitting down, listening to them quite a lot over and over, so that you can figure them out. And I would be sat there in front of my computer with my guitar, listening to the recordings and working them out on my guitar, seeing what's happening with the guitar part and the vocal part, and then transcribing them out using software. With 36 pieces to do, it was really sort of involving sort of project. I really enjoyed it, listening to the music, having to listen to the songs over and over a few times so that you can get the gist of them. Was pretty good actually, because the music was so nice to listen to. It was very enjoyable. But across the 36 pieces, there's a real variety of treatments. So it's not just done in a certain way. Jerry used different influences for different pieces. So, on the one hand, you might have a very traditional sounding folk arrangement of one song. The other would be something that sounds a bit more like a 60s folk rock song. So that was interesting. I suppose one of the most important things about the role that I had to play in transcribing the music was not only that we produce accurate transcriptions of the song versions that Jerry had written and performed, but also that the versions were usable for other people, so they were a good resource that people could, as well as listening to the recordings, they could look at the music. They'd have guitar tab to read from if they use that, or standard notation, and also notated approximate notations of the vocal parts as well. So by listening to the recordings and reading the versions that I've transcribed, hopefully people will easily be able to pick up the songs, learn them, perform them themselves, enjoy them through doing that, and then hopefully then the songs will have a greater chance in a way of living on, through new performers. Which I suppose is what folk music has always been about, really, passing on the tunes to the next generation. So I think they're certainly good enough to do that, so I hope my transcriptions have done them justice as well.